So Americans, rich and poor, are packing their bags and leaving the United States of America. From the first 6 months of this year compared to the first 6 months of last year, Americans moving to other countries has increased by 90%. That's right, 90%. And so that's almost double what it was last year. And so, folks, people are seeing the craziness and the chaos and the instability and the violence, and they're just leaving. They're just leaving. Folks, let me know why you think this is happening in the comments. And I love you guys to give me a follow. Thank you.
Americans are leaving this country in record numbers. And I'm not talking about vacation. I'm talking packing their bags, booking their flights, and leaving for good. In the first few months of 2025 alone, the amount of people that just said, I'm done, and moved abroad doubled from the year before. That's not just a blip, okay? That's a wave. So why? Same reasons you and I complain about every day. Cost of living going through the roof, political chaos that never seems to end, and the fear of safety even when you're just going to the grocery store. But here's the thing, it's not just dreamers or millionaires doing it. It's normal people. It's people with families, it's young people, old people, retirees, people who are working remote. One common thread holding all of these people together is they just want a dignified life. That's why you're seeing places like Greece, Spain, France, Portugal. Their cafes are filling up with Americans who are just done. People love to scream, if you don't like it, leave. Well, we are, thousands and thousands of us. We will be joining that wave soon. If you're curious about moving abroad, stick around, because we're about to embark on this journey ourselves. And we can't wait. At the end of the day, people like us just want to make life work. And if we think that we can do that better outside of this country, then who's to say we can't?
In this week's episode of I'm So Over the United States, we invited all of our family over and told them they can take anything they wanted. Since we were only taking 3 suitcases apiece, they were happy to get new things and we were happy to get rid of things. No matter how much we give away, I feel like there's always more as soon as we turn around. I'm over sorting through stuff when I really just want to give it up. Y'all, I almost threw this box away and it had pictures of me from 2007 and 1993. Everything is still a mess and all of this is probably going to donation. Leaving the country is exhausting and we are beyond tired.
Every time something happens in the U.S., there is a smorgasbord of people that are talking about leaving, getting out, moving abroad. I'm no stranger to this conversation because I have talked about it for years because I have lived abroad. I've lived in 5 countries. I gave birth abroad and I'm raising a multilingual son. However, there is one thing that seems to be missing in the conversation that I feel that I need to bring up now. And it's the very real fact that although your American privilege will allow you to escape the American imperialism that's within the walls of the United States, that imperialism bleeds out into the rest of the world. Capitalism is showing its ass and doing its big one, and you see it in places like Mexico, Indonesia, and even France, where tons of Americans, including Black Americans, have found their bit of respite outside of the United States of America. And let me also remind y'all something that I have said for years. If some shit pops off in another country, your blue passport is not going to save you, and the American embassy is not going to come to your aid. So while I believe that there are a lot of pros to moving outside of the United States and living outside of the United States, if your goal is to leave to run away from something, it may very well catch up with you.
Black people have an exit plan. And when I say exit plan, I'm not talking about a different state. I'm talking about somewhere else, period. Like somewhere else. And I high-key been feeling that way for a couple years now. Actually, a few years now. I would say at least 4 to 5 years. I've been feeling like, hey, this is probably not the place for me. I'm finally making this video now and putting it on my platform now because I truly feel like it's going to be more violence that happens because we're in really bad times right now. We're in times where like people are really getting sick of it. For example, what just happened to Charlie, like people are really like getting upset with our top 1%, which is understandable in a sense because, you know, what our top 1% advocates for, right? And in turn, it's going to be a lot of conservative people being violent towards whomever they deem is responsible. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot of violence towards Black and brown people. It's going to be a lot of violence towards women. It's going to be just overall a lot of violence. And politically, this place that we're in is just not going to get any worse. I don't foresee it getting any better, excuse me. So it's like when I say have an exit plan, I truly mean that. Do your research on what places suit you the most, you know. where you would feel the most comfortable. And if you can, if you have the means, you know, take trips to those places and really try to feel them out. Like, but yeah, and don't have the mindset like, oh, this place is dangerous or this place is dangerous. Ain't no other place, unless you're talking about somewhere in the Middle East. Maybe, you know, there's not many places that's more dangerous than the U.S. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. I know there's going to be a lot of black people that's like, oh, ain't nobody going to run me out. Ain't nobody going to run me out of my city. It's bigger than that at this point. It's like, it's not about running you out. It's about, okay, I can spend my whole life fighting for change. I can spend my whole life fighting for justice. I can spend my whole life fighting, or I can actually be somewhere living my life. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly can't stop crying because I'm in Africa. For my 15th anniversary, my husband got us a 2-week holiday tour in Africa, and our first stop is Nairobi, Kenya, and I can't stop crying. This is the best thing. I'm in Africa, y'all. I'm in Africa. A small town girl from one stoplight is in Africa. I'm in Africa.
Fam, open your eyes. Babylon is falling. America, the so-called land of dreams, is now the land people are running away from. Oh my God. Families are packing their bags, selling their homes, and living in droves. This is so sad. Why? Because the system is collapsing. Prices are crazy, jobs don't pay enough, violence is rising, and hope is gone. Oh my God. This is unbelievable. Let's break this down because this moment is bigger than just economics. This is spiritual. Let's get into it.
This Charlie Kirk thing kind of put the nail in the coffin of me being a Democrat. I was slowly moving away from it anyway because I was noticing certain things, but I'm not a Democrat. And I'm not a Republican either, but I'm not a Democrat. And I just noticed like certain things, like the way that the conversation would be shut down by calling somebody a name or calling somebody a bigot. It's like, okay, and why am I a bigot just because I disagree with you? Like, I can disagree with you and still not want anything bad for you. I just disagree. And it's like, you know, oh, you're personally committing violence against me if you know, disagree. It's like, that's a cop-out. And I would notice certain things like that. I would notice that I was being intentionally angered every 4 years so that I would go out and vote. It would be a new token thing to like get behind. Oh, if you don't vote this year, this thing is going to happen and everything's going to be taken away. But then the next year, none of those things would happen. So I was just being gaslit every single time. And it's crazy because like I didn't recognize it. But, you know, as I started to just see it, I started to see how like it's one thing to believe in something, it's another thing to tell somebody they're bad if they don't, especially if the view is wacky, crazy, and all the way out there. You know, canceling somebody for something that they did when they was 8 years old, for something that they said when they was 8 years old, and that thing wasn't even a slur back then. It's like, what are we like do? Like, people can't grow, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a way to keep people in control. And if you don't think exactly how I think, if you ever step in line, I can just like, you know, take away, you know what I'm trying to say? And it was just very controlling, but just very evil. And like the moral superiority, the moral high horse, and the performative activism was crazy. Like, oh, we are so oppressed, and go, like ride the Starbucks. It's like there's actually people that are in different countries, and like that's very disrespectful to them to say that you're oppressed like that. Like, you know, I would debate people down. And here's the thing, I had to come to realization that like I would go online to see what I should feel about a subject instead of actually saying what I did feel about the subject, to see what they were saying, and I would hop on it. And I had to be honest, I was hopping on bandwagons. And yes, it was when I was younger, but as I just grew older, I'm like, this not it. And finally, when it comes to the death of somebody, it's like, it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what they think. Nobody deserves that. I can see if you just heard about it, but you saw it on camera and you still saying you ain't sad about it. That's like your humanity is now lost. Like, politics is making like some of them crazy. And that's why I was just like, oh, y'all are drinking Kool-Aid right now, and I'm not gonna drink that. Like, I'm gonna just walk off. And that's one of the reasons why. And it's the nail in the coffin, because if you are so politicked out that you cannot cry when somebody unalive, you're not as moral as you think you are. Sorry.
All right, guys, let's go. We're going to the coffee shop. That's the crew back there following me. They all back there. All these Americans are coming to get some this amazing property. So,
greetings everybody. Across the United States, thousands of Black Americans are quietly making a radical decision to leave the land of their birth and return to the land of their ancestors. They are not just visiting Africa, they are moving there for good. But why now? What are they escaping and what are they finding? This is not just a relocation, this is homecoming. To understand this exodus, we must first understand the pain. For generations, Black Americans have faced systematic racism, police violence, economic exclusion, and a deep sense of not belonging in their own country.
Y'all want to know one real reason why America's crashing out like crazy right now? Mediocrity don't hit like it used to, baby. See, once upon a time in America, you could be real mid and still thrive. Mediocre effort, boom, you get a house, car, annual vacation, pension, hell, maybe even a boat. You could clock in, coast through the week, grill on Sundays, and still retire with dignity. But that era is dead and gone, baby. And instead of leveling up or adapting, they're mad, they're bitter, and they're not even blaming the billionaires. They blaming you. They have the audacity to blame me. They blaming immigrants, Black people, queer folk, anyone they think is taking something that used to be theirs by default. See, they don't want equality. They want comfort. And when mediocrity no longer gets them that comfort, they start rewriting the rules to rig the game again. It ain't about fairness. It's about preserving the lie. The lie that being average should still be enough for them.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that 2025 would come in with a bang? Who would have thought that while you were celebrating New Year's Eve, the 12/31/2024, that it was shift that happened and shifted us into 2025, and 2025 would come in with such a bang? God told me many years ago that we would be the generation that would see the downfall of America. And we could see our allies right now backing away from us because rather than making friends, we are making enemies. And we could see the enemies beginning to come together. And God said that they're going to come together and they're going to look back and they're going to laugh at America. And America is going to become a laughing stock. And I want you to understand that the time for playing, the time for being outside of the ark of God is over. We must make sure that we're inside of the safety net. And God has given me some specific instructions to help his people in this hour and in this moment in time. And it is a very serious moment. We're in a very dangerous time. Don't take it lightly. Do not think that we're in the same place and things are going to get better, because they're not. Things are going to continue to decline. We're going to see the fall of America. While they're saying we're making America great, it actually is going to be the fall. You know, it is written in the book of Jeremiah. It talks about Babylon falling. And God told me many years ago, Babylon was America, and America is falling, and no one will help her up. No one will be there to help America, because America is making enemies right now. And this is because it is written that we are the generation. You know, brothers and sisters, when I think about we are the generation that's going to see this, we are a part of it, and we all have a part to play in it. So I say unto you this day, what is your part? What are you supposed to be doing? And why are you still in the earth? Why are you one of the designated ones to be living in 2025? We gotta take this very seriously. It's time to make sure that you're watching over your thoughts, you're watching over your words, you're watching over the friends that you're connected with, you're making sure that you're walking with the right circles, that you have the mind of Christ Jesus, that you're seeking ye first the kingdom of God, that you're drawing nigh to God as he could draw nigh unto you, that you're being hidden in the vine, that you're meditating in the word day and night, that you are really going after God with everything. That's what time it is, brothers and sisters. Draw nigh to him like you have lost everything. It don't matter, because nothing in this world will matter when it's all over, and when it's all said and done, only what you have done in Christ Jesus will last. only. Nothing else. Not one thing, not one thing, not one thing. It's not going to be how much money you got in the bank, how much money you made, what your career was, what status you were, if you were a VIP or if you were a poor person. None of that will matter. Only what you have done for Christ, only what you have stored up in heaven. And I say unto you today, how is your account going in heaven? What have you stored up for yourself in heaven?
When people call America Babylon, they are not just talking about a country. They are talking about a system built on greed, control, and false promises. And just like ancient Babylon, it's cracking right in front of us. So why Americans are leaving? Why Americans are leaving? Think about it. Cost of living is through the roof. Rent, food, healthcare is crushing people. Families are realizing they can live better lives abroad for half the price. So they are leaving not because they hate America, but because America stopped working for them. Yeah, America stopped working for them. It's not just money. It's the violence, the racism, the political hate. Every day, another shooting, another protest. Oh my God, another law dividing people. Folks are very, very tired. Yeah, folks are done of living in fear and chaos. They want peace, and they are finding it outside America's borders. So this is not just politics, it's prophecy. Babylon falling has always meant the collapse of a system that turned its back on truth, justice, and humanity. America has become obsessed with money, greed, and power. Now the cracks are showing. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. So the double standard. Think about how America always told immigrants, come here for a better life. Now Americans themselves are running away, chasing safety and stability in other countries. The roles have flipped. That's how you know the fall is real. Yeah, the fall is real. Fam, don't miss this moment. Babylon falling isn't just a headline, it's a warning. I'm telling you that's a warning. People are waking up, living, and rebuilding their lives elsewhere. And the question is, are you ready for what comes after the fall? Do you think America can recover, or is this truly the fall of Babylon? Tell me. Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we are speaking truth the mainstream won't. So stay tuned. Catch you next time. Bye.